Welcome back to Horror R Us, where we dive deep into the darkness of horror, appreciating everything that makes this genre so terrifyingly good. Wes Craven's Cursed had all the right ingredients for a successful horror film: a legendary director, a script from screenwriter Kevin Williamson, and a solid cast led by Christina Ricci and Jesse Eisenberg. It was meant to be a fresh take on the werewolf genre, blending horror with self-aware humor in the way Scream revitalized the slasher genre. However, the final product became one of the most infamous examples of studio interference in horror history.
Help me! Are you okay? Do you hear that? What's going on up there?
After a disastrous production filled with reshoots, rewrites, and special effects mishaps, Cursed was released in 2005 as a disjointed and forgettable entry in Craven's filmography. Originally filmed in 2003, Cursed went through drastic changes before it hit theaters. The initial version was a darker, more serious werewolf story featuring a different cast, including Skeet Ulrich and Mandy Moore. However, after negative test screenings, Dimension Films demanded massive rewrites, leading to extensive reshoots nearly a year later. Characters were removed, subplots rewritten, and the entire tone of the film shifted toward a more teen-friendly, comedic approach. To make matters worse, the studio replaced much of Rick Baker's practical werewolf effects with dated CGI, stripping away any potential for memorable creature design. By the time the film was finally completed, Craven himself was disappointed with the final product, citing a lack of creative control.
Last night, a young woman was attacked and killed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I needed to talk to you.
The plot follows Ellie and her younger brother Jimmy, who are attacked by a werewolf after a car accident on Mulholland Drive. As they begin experiencing strange new abilities, they attempt to uncover the identity of the werewolf that bit them. Along the way, Ellie juggles her career at a late-night talk show while dealing with her suspicious boyfriend Jake, Joshua Jackson. And Jimmy struggles with high school bullies, gaining newfound confidence due to his werewolf strength. The mystery leads them to Joni, Judy Greer, an ex-girlfriend of Jake's who has gone on a killing spree out of jealousy. The final showdown takes place in Ellie's house, where Joni, in full CGI werewolf form, attacks the siblings in an over-the-top, unintentionally comedic battle. Despite its flaws, Cursed does have some redeeming qualities. Your brother! Christina Ricci and Jesse Eisenberg delivered decent performances, doing their best with a weak script. Eisenberg, in particular, leans into his awkward, nerdy charm, making Jimmy one of the more likable characters. The film also has some fun, campy moments, such as the infamous scene where the werewolf flips someone off, which, while ridiculous, is at least memorable. A handful of practical effects from Rick Baker still remain in the film, serving as brief reminders of what Cursed could have been before the CGI took over. Unfortunately, the negatives far outweigh the positives. The film suffers from a confused, disjointed narrative, the result of multiple rewrites and reshoots. Characters change motivations abruptly, subplots are introduced and then abandoned, and the pacing feels uneven. Ellie's job at a talk show serves no purpose, and Jimmy's storyline about using his werewolf abilities to gain confidence is played like a bad superhero origin story, complete with a wrestling match sequence that feels out of place.
Ellie? No!
The tonal inconsistency is another major issue. Cursed never fully commits to being a horror film, a comedy, or a teen drama, leaving it feeling unfocused. As a werewolf movie, Cursed fails to deliver genuine horror. The CGI werewolf design is unconvincing, making the creature look cartoonish rather than terrifying. The transformation sequences, a highlight in classics like An American Werewolf in London, are underwhelming here, relying too heavily on poor visual effects. Even the gore is minimal, making it a tame and forgettable entry in the werewolf genre. The film's climax is especially weak, with Judy Greer's villainous Joni coming across as more comedic than menacing. Her motivation, being angry that Jake wouldn't commit to her, feels absurdly shallow, and the final fight scene is filled with poorly executed action and lackluster tension. Ultimately, Cursed is a frustrating example of wasted potential. What could have been a clever and thrilling werewolf film ended up as a studio-mangled mess that pleased no one. While it may provide some unintentional laughs for fans of bad horror movies, it fails to stand out in either Craven's filmography or the werewolf subgenre. For those looking for a truly great werewolf film, classics like Ginger Snaps, Dog Soldiers, or An American Werewolf in London are far better choices. If you've seen Cursed, let me know your thoughts. Did you find any hidden charm in its chaos? Or was it just another early 2000s misfire? Drop your take in the comments. And if you're into horror breakdowns, forgotten gems, and genre deep dives, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's lurking around the corner.